What up, Detroit? It's Rob Parker, and coming up on Shop Talk, we'll talk about the Adrian Peterson mess. Also, we have a new feature called Preps Talk. We'll talk about the J. Rue Campbell situation at Cass Tech. Plus, we have a sneaker challenge. That's right. You don't want to miss that. Shop Talk starts right now. Some people think the best place to talk about sports is on the radio. No way, no how. It's in the barbershop. I should know. I'm a sports analyst. Detroit is a 5-point favorite. Devin, save your money, I know. And I own a barbershop in Detroit. And the cats in the barbershop, they think they know everything about sports.
Get ready for Rob Parker's Shop Talk. Real sports, real talk.
This is Shop Talk.
All right, welcome into Shop Talk on this Saturday. I'm Rob Parker. Let's kick it off with Getting Rob, where you get my take on the biggest sports stories of the week. We start with playoff baseball in Kansas City. Game 2 of this big series with the Royals and the Tigers for first place in the Central. It'll be Max Scherzer on the mound. 105 is first pitch. What a huge series. Here we go. 9 games left to the season, and it'll come down to this series probably to determine who's going to win this division. Where, oh, where is Commissioner Roger Goodell? We're still looking for him. I mean, he went at least 8 days out of the public where the league is in a mess and players with domestic violence issues and child abuse, and somehow, some way, after he messed up the Ray Rice situation, he's now absent. AWOL, missing in action, MIA. I mean, it doesn't show great leadership for your commissioner not to be front and center when your league is going through a crisis. And finally, hello, Brady Hoke, are you home? How about putting on some headsets and being able to get Michigan to beat Utah this weekend? Because if they don't, this will be the season for the Wolverines. You had that lackluster win over Miami of Ohio. Brady Hoke, the Wolverines, you gotta beat Utah at the Big House, or you know what? The season's over. Now it's time for the big debate. It's sponsored by Bob Maxey, the only Ford and Lincoln Mercury dealer in downtown Detroit. To reach him, call 313-392-9200 or visit them on the web at bobmaxeyford.com. On Wednesday, Minnesota Vikings running back Adrian Peterson was told to stay away from the team because of his charges of child abuse to his 4-year-old son. And now a lot of people are wondering whether or not this is fair. At first, they had reinstated him, Jack, on Monday to say he could play again, and then they reversed their wheels.
I think they treat him more than fairly, man. How many times in a job setting do you actually get an executive leave with pay and that sort of thing? And based off how Roger Goodell has treated other athletes in a similar situation, even not being charged, or being charged but not being guilty but still get suspended and so forth, I think he got treated way more than just fair. He got treated excellent.
But see, Teak, some people think it's not right that that's a personal issue, him and his child. Even though the police are involved, you think the league did the right thing?
Oh, they definitely did the right thing. I mean, because, he represents the NFL just as well. So, I mean, you gotta cover cover yourself and do what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to be suspended.
Martin, you cool with that?
I'm cool with it. Like, what people miss is that the NFL is your job. The same way if you worked at UPS or anywhere else in the world. Like, when you do things that, don't represent the best interest of your employer, your employer has every right to act on it.
Kyle, you too? All right, buddy, or you a little...
I'm kind of on the fence because, if AP is being suspended, they should suspend my mother or my stepfather or Tico's mother for spanking him. I think it's different because he's in the public eye.
But don't you also think that you crossed your spankings you're talking about? Did you go to the hospital? Did the doctors report it? I mean, there's a whole thing that people got to understand. When you take a kid into, it doesn't matter what the situation is, a kid to a doctor, and he has some sort of injuries, there's always going to be questions about how this kid got hurt.
Hey, Rob, man, I'm pretty sure there was a couple of instances, man. I probably should have went to the hospital, the doctor. My mama wasn't buying that, man. I can remember time my mom said, call the police, call the ambulance.
But the only problem is, and I hear a lot of people use that as an excuse, I'm sorry, just because people did it, or your parents or whoever, doesn't mean it was right.
No, that's a just because it's a tradition or it happened in the past. A whole lot of messed up stuff happened in the past that shit has no real place in 2014. And in this day and age, even if you do choose to discipline your child that way, you have to do it in such a way that's not going to cause them to have to go to the hospital or anything like that.
That's a totally different issue because what you're saying is kind of not true because right now, what do they all say, man? This generation is worse than any of them.
I think we hear that all the time, and I don't know. And I don't know if it's about people not being disciplined or that kids have had kids and not raised them properly. I don't know if it's, I think it has more to do with that than it has to do with whether or not you whip somebody with a switch. But let's just say this. If Adrian Peterson is found guilty of these charges, and it could be 2 to 10 years or, it could be really steep. If, say, he was convicted and gets out, will he play again?
I think he will play again. He's still one of the premier backs in the league.
Isn't that a tough tag to hold on to, though?
You know what? It depends.
Man,
If he gets the reckless, then it's 2 to 10 years. If he gets the negligent, then it's 180 days to 2 years. If he gets the negligent, I think he'll play again.
Teak, though, but to have that hooked onto you for your life, that you're a child abuser, if you get convicted, that's what you are.
People get convicted of child abuse every day. They're not getting 2 to 10 years. They're not getting 180 days. They spending maybe 5 to 7 days in jail. Then they have counseling. They have parenting class, this, that, and other. Adrian Peterson will play again because, for one, quote, if any of you is at a job, they have unions. You know what I'm saying? He's going to appeal it. He's going to play. So, everybody's taking this too far. Child abuse is, that's not a 2 to 10 year situation.
Let's talk about the real elephant in the room, man. Adrian Peterson got money, man. He will play again. It's his first offense.
Also, the one thing that I think you guys are missing is the reason he got deactivated and the whole situation, because advertisers stepped in. And those are the people who are more powerful than all the stuff you're talking about. Because when Nike and the hotels and Anheuser-Busch say they don't want to be associated with this stuff, guys like that will not play because they're hurting the brand.
But will he come back, though?
We'll see. This is going to be big. Check out the Shop Talk Rundown. Here's what's coming up. More Shop Talk is on the way. Stick and stay, Detroit.
You want flavor? Come to City Wings, 2896 West Grand Boulevard. Call ahead or order online, 313-871-2489, or go to citywingsinc.com. Thomas McGee's is your downtown Detroit football headquarters. Located on Fisher Service Drive in Eastern Market, they have ESPN Game Plan showing all college games. Stop in before and after every Lions home game. And Thomas McGee has an NFL ticket. Come through and enjoy.
If you need work done on your car, truck, or van, take them to the pros at Expert Car Care. They offer free inspections and guarantee the lowest prices in town. Expert Car Care has 2 locations, 7 Mile between Myers and Wyoming and 8 Mile between Mound and Van Dyke. For the best alterations in town, go to Sam's Alterations on Southfield Road in Lathrop Village, 248-552-9950. Sam also has a great selection of men's suits. Sam's the man.
If you're looking for good food, go to Beans and Cornbread, the heart and soul of Southern cooking. 29508 Northwestern Highway, Southfield, 248-208-1680.
Now it's time for Homeboy Highlights. All right, this week's homeboy is Floyd Mayweather. No surprise here, Mayweather defeated Maidano far more convincingly this Saturday than he did on May 5th. Mayweather kept his WBC welterweight championship and raised his record to 47-0 by reverting to his quickness and craft. He won a unanimous decision, connecting on 58% of his power punches and 51% overall. The judges scored it 116-111 and 115-112. Mayweather earned at least $32 million for the fight. Floyd Mayweather, you are this week's homeboy. The Tigers play Game 2 against the Kansas City Royals at 1:05 this afternoon in Kansas City. Of course, this is the huge series, the fight for first place in the AL Central. I'm going to come clean before the season started. I picked Kansas City to win the division and the Tigers to win the wild card. Now, some people are panicking. Are they going to win it? Are the Tigers going to win the division and make the playoffs?
I think they'll win the division. Well, they'll make the playoffs because they'll win the division, but I don't see this team being a World Series team, though. They'll make the playoffs, but I don't see how far they can go deep into the playoffs because they have the same problems they had last year. They don't have a bullpen. The bottom of the order is not that great. You know, they're a very top-heavy team.
And defense. D-Jack, we saw the game on Wednesday night in Minnesota, missed ball in center field. They got some issues here, but do you think they got enough to just squeak by and get in?
To squeak by and get in, no, I don't think so, because now it's becoming apparent with Price not playing up to his capability, Justin Verlander having I don't know what kind of season. I don't think we got enough gas in the tank. I don't see it.
Teak, how big of a disappointment would this be to Detroit? Let's not forget, the Tigers have the 5th largest payroll in baseball. Everybody thought they'd run away with the Central, and here they are struggling just to get in.
The major disappointment, we always picking the Tigers to win it. You know what I'm saying? Then here it is. We in the same situation as last year. It seemed like to me it's time for a new manager.
They just got a new manager, so already, Brad Osmond.
1 year?
I know. Now, Cal, I'll say, the Tigers, when you look at them on paper and you look at the rotation, you feel good about them, but those guys haven't always performed up to par.
No, like Jack said, Justin Verlander, first and foremost. Price, that first game, he came out and helped us to a win, blew everybody, blew them out the water. But right now, our aces are not stepping up like aces should.
And I think a lot of people diss Kansas City, but they have a little better team than people think. All right, now it's time for No Way, No How. That's where we look at the Lions' upcoming game on this Sunday. We have our resident NFL expert, D-Jack, joining us here in the shop. And the Lions take on the Green Bay Packers. Lions are 2.5-point favorites. Packers come in 1-1, Lions 1-1. Lions lost their last game, of course, against Carolina. How do you see this, D-Jack?
I see this one, the Lions having issues with the same thing they had in Carolina. They had offensive line problems with the right tackle. So you can imagine what's going to happen with Julian Peppers and Bloodline coming to town, Clay Matthews. And I also see the Lions having difficulty with them only having 3 quarterbacks on the roster against Aaron Rodgers. You know the Lions have never beaten Aaron Rodgers, and now they're minus corners too. It's going to be a problem.
But it's true, though. People don't like to hear it. The 2 games that the Lions actually have won when Aaron Rodgers was on the team was both times he was hurt. He was hurt in both of those games, so it will be interesting to see that. Aaron Rodgers, of course, last week Green Bay fell behind 21-3, and then they put up a flurry of points against the Jets. I agree with you. That's going to be a big issue. And number 2, for the Lions, to me, this is one of those season-changing games. If the Lions can actually go and play and beat, you got to start beating the good teams. This is my issue with this team.
I agree.
If you can play a good game and beat Aaron Rodgers, even at home, even though they haven't beaten Green Bay in Green Bay, it's a start. You're 2-1, and you go on the road to play the Jets. Let me get a final score from you. Who you got, and what's your score?
Rob, you know I'm a hometown guy, Detroit Lions fan, born and raised. But yet again, I have to go against the Lions this week. I got the Green Bay Packers 34, Lions 31. Because the Lions are at home, I have them maybe scoring a ton of points. The energy is going to be electric. Ford Field is going to be on jam. But just in the end, too much Aaron Rodgers, too much bloodline Clay Matthews. I got the Packers.
DJ asked me, will the Lions beat the Packers this Sunday?
Rob, will the Lions beat the Packers this Sunday?
No way, no how. I got 30-17 Green Bay. Sorry, folks. More Shop Talk is on the way. Stick and stay, Detroit. For the best sports coverage on the web, go to theshadowleague.com. Coverage with a cultural perspective. Check it out.
Thomas McGee's is your downtown Detroit football headquarters. Located on Fisher Service Drive in Eastern Market, they have ESPN Game Plan showing all college games. Stop in before and after every Lions home game. And Thomas McGee has an NFL ticket. Come through and enjoy.
If you need work done on your car, truck, or van, take them to the pros at Expert Car Care. They offer free inspections and guarantee the lowest prices in town. Expert Car Care has 2 locations, 7 Mile between Myers and Wyoming and 8 Mile between Mound and Van Dyke.
The best haircuts in Detroit are at Sporty Cut.
Home of the $10 all-even haircut. Hey, Teak, don't take too much off. Come on!
7 Mile between Outer Drive and Myers, Sporty Cuts.
For the best alterations in town, go to Sam's Alterations on Southfield Road in Lathrop Village, 248-552-9950. Sam also has a great selection of men's suits. Sam's the man. Now it's time for Preps Talk.
The field behind me is where Cass Tech football star J. Rue Campbell built local glory for himself. But it seems like the days of celebrating what he did on the field are over, as it seemed like off-the-field issues just seem to keep persisting. Let me tell you what happened last Friday. Last Friday, Campbell came home after serving time for body slamming that security guard earlier this year. I know you remember that one. But hours later, he found himself back in handcuffs for allegedly assaulting his girlfriend at a Cass Tech football game. I caught up with Marquise Herring, who's the founder of Mentoring Through Media, to find out what J. Rue needs to do to get his life back on track.
When you don't have people in your life who are constantly on you about this is the way you perform, this is the way you conduct yourself as a young man, you're not in the hood anymore, you can't just hit somebody and think you can get away with it, that this is real life. When you don't have those key things in your life, you're left out here as a young man to have to make decisions for yourself that you were never prepared to make. You got to do better with your life, that you're throwing your own life away. And what better way to do that than to have a mentor or someone in his life who cares enough about him to take these instances and sit him down and say, look, J. Rue, you got to get your stuff together, man. Look at what you're doing. You're throwing your life away. I don't know if he has that in his life.
Now it's time for Trash Talking Twitter.
At the Smack says, if the Tigers don't make the playoffs, will they admit that the Osmus hire was a mistake?
If you want to trash anyone or anything in sports, hit us up on our Twitter. Time to change gears. Here's Hip Hop News.
Hey, this is your Uncle Bill with the Hip Hop News. Frank Ocean's father is suing Russell Simmons for a reported 9-figure settlement. According to TMZ, Calvin Cooksey is suing Simmons' Global Grind website of defaming his name and character in an article. Cooksey has not been involved in Ocean's life since he was a young child. The GG post apparently referred to Cooksey as a deadbeat dad, but the self-described singer, writer, and inventor says it was Ocean's mother that kept him from seeing his son. Simmons is now being hit with a $142 million lawsuit. There were reports that Cooksey actually attempted to sue Ocean for $1 million in 2012. Russell Simmons isn't concerned. In other news, Kanye West has expressed his appreciation for the late, great Michael Jackson numerous times. He's even referenced the king of pop on tracks like Slow Jams and Don't Like. According to Kanye's frequent collaborator, Tony Williams, West is working to see his next studio album compete with MJ's Thriller as one of the greatest albums of all time. We're just focusing on making great records, and when I say great records, I mean not records that are pigeonholed into a certain genre, a certain style, Williams told Complex. We're out to make new Thriller. On that magnitude, actually like the greatest album of all times. Alright, I guess we'll see. And finally, rapper Killer Mike says the Hawks owner's email was not racist. Atlanta Hawks owner Bruce Levinson announced he was selling his share of the NBA franchise after admitting comments he wrote in the 2012 email were racially insensitive. Levinson apologized for the document, which included the co-founder of the United Communications Group stating his concern about white residents not attending Hawks games because they were essentially too black. Atlanta rapper Killer Mike told TMZ while he viewed Levinson's email as crass, the public should not be so quick to use the word racist. It's not remotely racist at all. What I read was a businessman trying to fill up his seats with the demographic that spends the most money, said Mike. He added, we should save that outrage for a time when it's really warranted. That's what he said. All right, that's the news. I'm your Uncle Bill. I'm out.
It's Shop Talk's Cut of the Week.
Hi, you guys. My name is Tico. This is Luck. What we have here is a Wayland taper. As you can see, nice precision cut, line in the front, beard, clean cut. Come and see me at Sporty Cuts Barbershop. Take care of you guys. Way seasick, as you can see.
If you're looking for good food, go to Beans and Cornbread, the heart and soul of Southern cooking. 29508 Northwestern Highway, Southfield, 248-208-1680. Thomas McGee's is your downtown Detroit football headquarters. Located on Fisher Service Drive in Eastern Market, they have ESPN Game Plan showing all college games. Stop in before and after every Lions home game. And Thomas McGee has an NFL ticket. Come through and enjoy. You want flavor? Come to City Wings, 2896 West Grand Boulevard. Call ahead or order online, 313-871-2489, or go to citywingsinc.com.
For the best alterations in town, go to Sam's Alterations on Southfield Road in Lathrop Village, 248-552-9950. Sam also has a great selection of men's suits. Sam's the man. Now it's time for At the Movies with Greg.
People want to go into business. You always tell them the main obstacle is the fear. Get over that and just go.
Yeah. I think one of the things that Hector says in his, he writes down all these little things that happiness might be, and one of them is fear is an impediment to happiness. And I think that's very true.
Yes. Right, right. But so many times people are like,
and Clara is, he's talking about at that point, he's talking about fear of a major life-threatening scale, and Clara, his girlfriend left back at home, is someone who's just a sort of quite a fearful person, and that is borne out in her need to control every tiny thing, including Hector.
Which he doesn't mind happening as well.
Which yes.
Right. And then for you, now you actually got to travel to all those places?
Yeah, we went everywhere that you see in the film. We went for real, yeah.
And you're probably
he had a sort of amazing, he had his gap year doing this.
It's the year I never took off when I was a student. We started in Vancouver, and a lot of what you see in the movie, Vancouver stood in for every single location at some point in the film. So Rosamund and I were there, and then we went to London, and then I went off to South Africa, to China, and then to Germany, Austria, Tibet, and the US. So it was, a big old journey.
And I was left back in London on Fleet Street.
There are worse places.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
But with the happiness of pursuit.
Here's the Instagram shop of the day.
Check out Struthers Unisex Barbershop, located at 26010 Eureka Road in Taylor. Give them a call at 734-992-3797.
If you want your shop featured, hit us up on our Instagram account, Shoptalk TV. Now it's time for the debate challenge. All right, we welcome in Reef, one of the barbers here at Sporty Cuts. And the other day, LeBron James was out promoting his new sneaker. And let's just be honest, more people noticed his new hairline than they did his new kicks. Reef, I don't know about you, but I wasn't feeling the fake hairline.
I'm with it. I'm with it 100%. I noticed the hairline before the shoes too myself. I'm a barber, so I definitely, whatever he did, tell Michigan, you know, bring it to us so we can fill these barbershops back up, get our men back out there with them crispy hairlines. That's that St. Mary's LeBron. He about to get a ring and everything. I'm with that.
I'm not with it. You know why? Because when Michael Jordan, one of the greatest players ever, you know what? He made it chic and fashionable to go bald. Mike didn't try to, you know, dipsy doodle up his hair and get it all right and back to where it was. He let it go natural, cut it down, and he, you know what? Put out a look for people. And people who are follically challenged, it's all right to wear the bally bean.
Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with having a bald head, having a nice shine on it. But, you know, we need that LeBron, that St. Mary's LeBron back, you know, back when he was winning and tough with it. So we need that. And tell him come down to Michigan, man. Bring the barbershop, man, so we get these boys back in this barbershop.
I don't know. Man wearing plugs, is that not an extension or a weave? I mean, what's the difference? It's about the same thing, isn't it?
Hey, you got to put it back into play, man. There's a lot of men out here that would rather have their hairlines back. They can rock waves again and get back at it. So I'm with it. I agree with it 100%. More need to get back on it, and I support them with that.
Hey, Reeve, appreciate you joining us. Of course, you did not win. And can you take your hat off so we can see your hairline?
Oh, yeah. Hey, LeBron.
All right, just want to make sure. Now
you know
I
what I'm
understand
saying? So, hey, you know what I mean?
All
Whatever
right.
he got, hey, I'm with it, baby.
Now it's time for a segment we call What You Sportin'.
What You Sportin' is sponsored by Bob's Classic Kicks on Woodward in Detroit.
This week, two of our barbers square off. We got Mo, one of our A1 barbers at Sporty Cuts, and of course Cal as well. Mo, what you sporting?
Oh, today I'm sporting the Adidas Originals. Cool gray, is ready for anything, you know what I'm saying? Fall, summer, spring, winter, anything. You put these on, you go ready to go, you know what I'm saying? They be looking like, dang, what's those? Adidas all day.
Cal, what you got?
Well, you know, I got the low cut, Jazz Low Pro Saucony's. You ain't gonna see nobody with these, you know, fresh, cream, blue, red, speckles on the bottom. You know how I do.
We'll just put them both up.
Yeah, that's like a nice walking shoe if you're an older person, you know, orthopedic.
I know,
right?
Cal, does a walker come with that? No. Put the foot down. I'm going with Mo. I love those gray Adidas. Those are sweet right there. All right, that's Shop Talk for this week. Don't forget to tune in to Tigers 105 Kansas City Game 2 of the big series. We'll see you next week.
If you want to advertise on Shop Talk, call us at 586-431-0804.